Hey guys, Courtney Mermaid here and welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special day. It is the official Patreon Patron Appreciation Day and I wanted to take a sec to talk to you guys about what I do on Patreon and just take a moment to thank the amazing Patreon pod who helps support what I do and helps make all of this beautiful stuff possible. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Courtney and I am a mermaid content creator. I am also a certified holistic nutrition and health coach, and I am also a mermaid tail maker. I know, I wear a lot of hats or a lot of mermaid tails depending on your perspective. I have, over the years, developed kind of a behind the scenes community through Patreon, and what it has become is a place for me to share the goings on, the inner workings, the meaty goodness of what it means to be a full-time mermaid entrepreneur, if you will. So over on my Patreon, I include things like behind the scenes photos, live streams. We have a private Instagram account where I can interact on a more regular basis through the mini lives, and I also share behind the scenes like stories as well as Instagram posts, what I'm working on, stuff that I don't share right away to everybody else, and some things that everybody else will just never see. It will just be strictly for the Patreon pod as a thank you for their generous contributions. We also have a private Discord community chat, which has grown and has become this beautiful thing, I find. I have always kind of struggled with where I want to socially hang out on the interwebs, as it were, as a mermaid. I find that the drama can just be a little bit overwhelming, and I think it's beautiful because the Patreon pod has kind of developed this community through the Discord chat where everyone's really supportive. So I really love seeing their stories, seeing their, like, hearing about their adventures, what's going on. It's just become such a positive, beautiful place, and I've recently done like a little revamp on it to try and fill out the community, as it were, giving more options for where you can post stuff, talk about your pets, share your mermaid tales, ask questions, get mermaid tail making help, like all of that good stuff. So that has been, I think, of all the new things that I added over the last little while, the Discord chat, I think, was my favorite thing that I added. We also do coloring challenges over at the Patreon pod. Please stay to the end of this video so that you can see all of the beautiful artwork created by my Patreon pod. I make the coloring pages and they turn them into masterpieces, and I love seeing other people attack something that, like, from a totally different angle that I never would have thought of, and it's just so wonderful to see how different and beautiful everyone's sort of imaginations and interpretations are. I also have Patreon credits, so if you haven't ever noticed, I don't do them in all videos because sometimes if I'm doing like a review on a product and it was part of the stipulation not to like advertise anything else, then I don't include them on those videos. But for the vast majority of my videos, you will notice, for example, at the end of this video, you will see the Patreon credits. So the production pod part of my Patreon crew has access to this wonderful little feature where they get their name in the credits, which was just a fun thing that I had decided to do. That was probably one of the earliest, I think, rewards that I had offered, was to have your name in the credits. So the first tier is the basic pod community access. So that gives you the monthly mermaid coloring challenge. Now it may be a tail, it may be a full picture, it could be anything. You never know what I'm going to come out with. You also get access to our private Discord community chat, as well as the private Instagram community. So that will give you, I don't do them every day, but I do weekly little mini live streams over on the Instagram, and I'll post extra little stories and extra tidbits. So even while I was taking a break from social media there for a bit, I wasn't taking a break from the Patreon Instagram, so those guys got to see like me fumbling and trying to bring this enormous desk home for my new workspace, and it was all kinds of laughs. We were just killing ourselves with me smushed in the passenger seat with this table like resting up over my head. It was very safe. We drove very slowly. Very good. Then the creative crew gets access to all of the above that I mentioned, as well as the monthly big private live stream, which I do in front of a camera that's not, you know, on Instagram, so it'll be on the YouTubes, and that's more of like a more formal kind of a hangout, one-on-one kind of a deal. They also get access to the Patreon podcast, which is all of my kind of musings on what it means to be in business for yourself, as well as in business as a mermaid. I'll give my kind of thoughts and opinions on things going on in the mermaid community, tips and tricks, I also let those guys kind of let me know what they want to hear about, what they would like me to talk about, and then I work that into upcoming episodes. And they also get access to polls, which helps me decide all kinds of things going on with my business, whether it be content ideas for upcoming videos, topics for the podcast, like I said, maybe if I'm working on a new scale shape or a new leggings design or a new top design or something, I'll post it up there and let those guys pick the one they like the best and kind of go from there. Then we come to the production pod, and as I mentioned, those guys get, of course, all of the above rewards as well as their name in my credits. And they also get 15% off year-round at shopvancouvermermaid.com, where I sell like my mermaid leggings and my tops and bracers and my ebooks, all of my good mermaid related merch. It's recently had a bit of a facelift. I added a few things. I changed our banners. I made it just a little bit more community based, since that's where I felt like it was going, and I didn't want it to be just like my face plastered everywhere, because the thing that I've discovered is the most important about Patreon, like how to get the most out of it, is to really focus, like zone in on the community aspect of it. I have made friends. I don't know why I feel like I'm gonna get emotional about this, but I have made friends like all over the world, like people all over the place that I never in this life probably would have had the opportunity to meet. I am actually crying, so please just, if I start to look very red, that's what's going on. But it's just been this amazing opportunity to get to expand kind of my world and maybe expand your worlds a little bit if you're part of the Patreon pod, and just get to know you guys. And I don't know, I feel like Patreon came at just the right time for me in my world, and I'm so unbelievably grateful for it. And so thank you to Patreon, just period, as a company. Thank you for existing, for starters. And now I just want to take a second to thank all of my patrons. No matter what tier you support, no matter what amount you give, like, words do not really sum it up nicely, you know what I mean, to how I could best show my appreciation. I would not be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for you guys. I really and truly, that's not an exaggeration, it's just a fact. I wouldn't be able to put out the content that I put out, and now more than ever with the changes that are going to be happening on YouTube starting in the new year, if I don't have my Patreon pod, this right here, this convo we're having, this won't be happening, and it'll be a very interesting time. I know for YouTube, I wanted to do a different video talking more about that in the future of my channel and all that good stuff. I may film that later today. You may see another video where I look exactly like this. It's gonna be awesome. But all that being said, right, the Patreon pod has brought not only some financial aid to my cause, but they have also brought like an emotional family vibe that, you know, if you know me personally, my family and I, we have some history. We don't talk, a lot of us, and we were at one point a very close family, and life, it is what it is. So for me to have just a group of people that I can reach out to and talk to and visit with and get to know and share this wonderful experience of mermaiding and a more holistic kind of lifestyle and a more mermaid lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's just such a beautiful thing that I wouldn't have otherwise. So I cannot in any way really kind of sum up how much you all mean to me, okay? All of you. You know who you are, my fishes. You make it all possible. You've helped make my dreams come true, and I just hope that we can continue to grow this community, because I feel so blessed, and I would love to share that with just more and more people, and I don't know, bring a little bit less drama to the community and a little bit more of the magic that you guys share with me. So that's kind of the goal with Patreon. That's kind of the vibe that I want to put out there. It's the future that I look towards when I think of what my goals are, just even as a person. And getting to know you guys has been an absolute highlight of this whole YouTube, mermaid, everything. This has just been too cool. Anyways, all that being said, I hope that gives you a little bit of an insight. I'm gonna leave links and everything down below if you would like to come check us out over on patreonpod.com. Really, when it comes down to it, it's a community unlike anything I've experienced on the internet, and I feel so grateful that I have you guys. if I could, if there was a way to like accurately like come through the screen and just like give you a big hug and say thank you, that's basically what I want to do. Okay, so big hugs. Now let's check out some of their amazing artwork, right? Like, I can't believe it. It's been a hot minute since I've had the opportunity to post and show you guys what the Patreon pod has been up to. They have created some beautiful pieces, and I'm looking forward to getting back in the swing of things, creating some new coloring pages for the Patreon pod, all different styles, and I look forward to seeing what they create next. Oh, and before I go, my shirt, the Merry Fishmas vibes. So this is my Fishmas sweatshirt. I will also leave a link to where you can grab this puppy. And I wear like a massively way too big version because it's gotta be schnubbly, you know what I mean? It's gotta be cuddles. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification as well so you never miss an upload. And yeah, I love you, my fishes. Thank you so much for making it all possible, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Happy swimming! Bye!